Today we're diving into Luffy's widespread alliances and examining the anticipated warfare in his future as one of the 4 Emperors. Have you guys caught up with the astonishing turn of events where tens of millions of allies are rallying to Luffy's side? It seems the developments awaiting us beyond the Wano Country arc are setting the stage for a brand new adventure. Moreover, this impending massive battle involving the whole world is sketched as a super crucial storyline that has the world government quaking in their boots. In today's episode, I'm going to delve deeper into the unfolding narrative of One Piece. If this analysis sparks new insights or ideas, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hey, if you have different perspectives or theories, feel free to share them in the comments section, alright? Note, be wary, this video contains spoilers up to the latest episode, so proceed with caution. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Vivi was a character we met right after entering the Grand Line. She adventured alongside the Straw Hat crew until they reached the kingdom of Alabasta, forming bonds so strong that she was even invited to officially join the crew. But respecting Vivi's love for her homeland, they left her behind, bringing her journey with them to a pause. You see, Alabasta Kingdom holds one of the 20 positions of the families who founded the world government. But only the Nefertari family chose to stay in their homeland, while the rest became the Celestial Dragons. The existence of the poneglyph in Alabasta hints at the fact that they inherited the will of the once prosperous kingdom, maintaining a life on Earth. I bet there's some connection with Joy Boy too. Now, it seems almost inevitable that figures like Vivi, Shaka, and Pell will join forces with Luffy. However, the current major hiccup is Vivi's mysterious disappearance. With reports coming in about Cobra's assassination, the foundation of Alabasta is quite shaky. While they are undoubtedly allies, their current situation makes collaboration tough. Who knows? Maybe Luffy and his crew will once again set off to rescue Vivi, paving the way for a hearty "thank you, let's fight together" moment. Many of you probably have deep attachments to the journey to Alabasta. Looking forward to the day Vivi joins the Straw Hat crew for another adventure and fight. Isn't that exciting? Here are the people from East Blue Barity. Currently, they work as chefs managing a sea restaurant. But Zeph was a former pirate who has notably flexed his muscles in the Grand Line. As mentioned at the beginning, a battle involving the whole world will unfold soon. Not only in the Grand Line, but also in the East Blue, West Blue, South Blue, and North Blue Seas. Civilians might get involved. It would be best if they can peacefully run the sea restaurant, but there might be a situation where Zeph and his team have no choice but to fight. Even if he does not work directly with Luffy and his friends at the time, I think he may ask them to leave East Blue to them. They can now be considered as allies. Now, the Sakura Kingdom has been saved by Luffy, and now Dalton is nobly performing his role as the king. His splendid demeanor towards Wapol is now considered an equal. Having participated in the revelry was also good. As a nation, it also has an aspect of valuing the philosophy that Hylaluk promoted with the Cherry Blossom and Skull at a national level. Perhaps there is an attitude of cooperating anytime if something happens to Luffy. By the way, Dalton was the first Zoan-type ability user to appear in the series. It's a race they met in Skypiea. Initially, they were in opposition to Luffy over the territory called Upper Yard, but eventually collaborated due to having a common enemy in Enel. At the end of the Skypiea arc, including Wiper, the Shandians, and originally Skypieans like Connie's, have become Luffy's allies. In the Battle of Skypiea, the Dials played a significant role indeed. Speaking of combat-oriented ones, there is the Flame Dial that emits flames, the Impact Dial that delivers a shock, and the Reject Dial that possesses 10 times the power. Wiper was successful in inflicting direct damage on Enel using this reject. The Shandians have always had a strong heritage as a warrior race, having demonstrated formidable strength as warriors, even when Nolan visited Calgera 400 years ago. The Shandians have a history of diminishing their numbers in battles to protect the poneglyph, providing a historical background for staunchly supporting Luffy. However, now Yaya has been launched up by the Knockup Stream, situated at an altitude of 10,000 meters. I think descending to the Blue Sea easily to fight together may be a challenging aspect, requiring a considerable resolve. However, there is no need to descend a full 10,000 meters to the ground. For example, in battles above the Red Line, their expertise in high-altitude combat could be a significant advantage, don't you think? Additionally, in terms of the mysterious traits of their race, they have the same characteristics as the Skypeans with wings. This hints at a potential connection with the people of the moon, possibly involving them in a significant battle along with the unraveling of mysteries. It's about Mr. Iceberg and his team. They are the shipwrights met during the Water 7 arc. Among them, Iceberg is a senior disciple who grew up with Frankie under the great shipwright Tom, who built the ship for the pirate king Gall D. Roger and is now the mayor. It feels like, just like with Alabasta, the entire island of Water 7 has become an ally to Luffy. Toward the end of the Water 7 arc, Frankie and Iceberg were cooperating. During this time, Iceberg envisioned a plan to transform Water 7 into a ship that floats on the sea. In the future, there might be a scenario where Water 7 itself moves across the sea, reaching various places. I don't think it's a plan that can be realized in a few months or years. Even if they do not participate in the grand battle in such a manner, it's exciting to think that it could be an invention surpassing the sea train, isn't it? Iceberg, along with Frankie, has actually seen the blueprints of the ancient weapon Pluton. There seems to be a chance for them to get involved if the real Pluton revives in the future. Furthermore, the foremen at Dock 1 like Paulie, Tilestone, Lulu, former members of the Frankie family like Zambai, Mozu, and Kiwi could also be counted as respectable forces. Mainly, the head figure would be Princess Shirahoshi. She is the princess of the Ryukyu Kingdom and is believed to be born once in several hundred years, an entity that can communicate with the Sea Kings, making her Poseidon. In other words, having her as an ally means that you virtually have the Sea Kings as allies, which is no exaggeration. I believe this alone could allow you to control the world, but she is just one part of the numerous allies that Luffy has. Fishmen and others live in the land located 10,000 meters under the sea, contrary to the Sky Island, and it has now become Luffy's territory. That means that not only Shirahoshi, who is Poseidon, but also the fishmen, mermaids, and other species are allies of Luffy and his friends. This may be the largest force among collaborators, excluding pirates, wouldn't it? Furthermore, there exists the promised arc Noah that well set into motion at the coming time. It can arguably be said that this is the most substantial force among the allies, excluding the pirates, can it? This person is a princess of the Riku royal family who appeared in the Dressrosa arc. Just like the Alabasta Kingdom, due to Luffy defeating Doflamingo and saving the country, the entire country is thanking Luffy and his friends. There are statues built all over the town, and the amount of gratitude shown implies that in times of need, they would cooperate wholeheartedly. Rebecca and Riku Dold III are capable fighters who fought in the Colosseum as gladiators. And there's also the undefeated gladiator Kairos with 3,000 victories. Viola can provide perfect support with the Glare fruit, and the royal family is filled with people who are incredibly suited for battle. In terms of the country itself, before the Riku family, the Don Quixote family ruled Dressrosa. However, to become celestial dragons, they handed over the region to the Riku family, who then built a peaceful nation over 800 years. How the country, which was once ruled by one of the original 20 kings, will be involved is also a point of interest. You might think, isn't this the Straw Hat Grand Fleet? However, a section of the Tontada tribe, including Leo, who want to be pirates, have joined as a large fleet. Other than them, Princess Mancherry of the Tontada tribe is not a pirate, which is why she is included in this category for this time. The Tontada tribe, despite their appearance, are incredibly strong and fast, making them very capable in battle. Also, Mancherry can heal with the power of the Heal fruit. This is a huge advantage. In the battlefield, not only is physical strength important, but the endurance to continue fighting becomes an issue during stalemates. During such times, having someone who can heal injuries like Mancherry or Marco would be an immeasurable blessing. I believe she is as valuable a resource as Shirahoshi. In the category of legendary races, the only confirmed survivor as a pure Lunarian is Albel, the lead performer of the Beast Pirates King. During the Battle of Onigashima, Marco recalled that Whitebeard once mentioned that before Mary Giese atop the Red Line, there was a land of gods. The inhabitants of this place were said to be the Lunarians, a highly precious race. As can be seen from the fierce battle between the king and Zoro, they possess an overwhelming physical resilience. When the flame on his back is lit, he demonstrates an impregnable defense that blocks any attack. Furthermore, when the flame goes out, he shifts into attack mode, unleashing powerful techniques. His large wings suggest that he might also have the ability to fly. Besides, let's also look into the connection with the sun god Nika. King knew about Joy Boy as well. The reason for the reduced numbers after being driven out of Mary Giese is as follows. The connection with the Shandians due to having wings, and Big Mom mentioning King as a race not present in Tato Land. The world government had been holding Albel as a test subject due to his racial powers. It is undoubtedly a race that should be called the most notable, packed with important matters that can't be covered fully. Whether King will directly get involved as an ally of Luffy is unclear, since there were depictions of him being captured by Yamato after being defeated in Wano. However, as a race, they seem to anticipate, even hope for the arrival of Joy Boy. The compatibility with Luffy, who possesses the power of Nika, seems extremely good, and the new Pacifista model, Seraphim, also has the power of the Lunarians injected. This seems to be setting up the groundwork for the story to heavily involve the pure Lunarians at some point. Moreover, everyone is eagerly awaiting to see if the once prosperous land of gods will be depicted in the backstory around the Void Century. Recently, it's been revealed that the giant tribe, who have deep ties with Robin, is actually alive. Given that he is currently in Elbaf, it seems that the entire giant tribe and the warriors of Elbaf are likely to lend their strengths to Luffy. Similarly, Hajerdine from the Giant Tribe is a part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet as the leader of the new Giant Warrior Pirates. It would be nice if other groups of the Giant Tribe living normally in Elbaf, as well as those scattered around the world, would cooperate with Luffy as well. Saul, being a former Vice Admiral of the Marine Headquarters, showed an incredible way of fighting by lifting and throwing an entire warship in Robin's backstory. It's reassuring to know that he is a strong individual when he goes berserk. Speaking of the warriors of Elbaf, in addition to Hajerdine, there are Dory and Brogy, Oimo and Kashi, all of whom have connections to the past. A point of concern is that Kid arrived in Elbaf before Luffy and his group. It's a matter of interest what kind of decision the giant tribe will make and what kind of actions Prince Loki will take. This refers to the race living in the Mokomo Dukedom, located on the back of Zao. Notable names deeply connected with Luffy and his group include Carrot, Wanda, Pedro, Inuyarashi, and Nico Mamashi. After finishing the Wano Country arc, since the former kings Nico and Ino decided to stay in Wano, it seems that arrangements were made for Carrot to become the queen. Personally, Carrot, who has a deep connection, assumed a position where she carries the responsibility for the country in her teens. Moreover, as a consensus among the Mink tribe, after being attacked by Jack with poison gas, Chopper and others carried out strenuous life-saving activities. The gratitude for saving them when their race seemed on the brink of extinction is immense. It's indeed commendable that a proactive cooperation flow is being created where everyone actively collaborates. Zoe Zanisha, who supports the Mokomo Dukedom, is obvious allies too. The Joy Boy, who once fought as an ally, has now become an entity similar to Luffy. When the time comes to open up the country, Zao will initiate movement to release Pluton and fight alongside the Mink tribe. This refers to the people of Wano Country, including Momonosuke and the samurai forces. The country has finally been liberated from the 20 years' reign of Kato and Orochi and is currently in the midst of reconstruction. The national power has not yet fully recovered. Considering this, Momonosuke probably decided not to open the country yet, and he himself needs to become a man who can shoulder responsibility of the nation. He needs to master the same dragon ability as Kato and lead the samurais, including the 9 red scabbards. Yamato, who unfortunately didn't become a part of the Straw Hat crew, holds the power of a guardian deity of Wano, a major force. Then there's the ancient weapon Pluton that lies dormant underground. A massive potential force is at their disposal. Like the Mink tribe, they have been in a closed environment for a long time, but Odin's words to open the country and the logbook are firmly inherited now. Luffy, just before setting sail, handed over the Straw Hat crew's pirate flag to Momonosuke, making it a territory of one of the 4 emperors. When the country is fully regenerated and everyone is vibrant, the true sight of an opened Wano country seems to be quite impressive. This refers to Egghead, a figure who seems to be forming a new cooperative relationship. If he can escape safely, he seems likely to act alongside the Straw Hat crew as a provisional member, similar to Vivi, Momonosuke, and Kinemon. Dr. Vegapunk mentioned that besides Stella, there are 6 satellites, and although they are requesting to be taken along, evacuating everyone seems to be a tough proposition. The primary intention of the satellites is to at least get Stella to escape. The fact that both the world government and the Navy are mobilizing this heavily around this one individual indicates that the large benefits that come with having him as an ally. It might be necessary to relinquish control over the SSG, but there might be assets like the pacifistas and the other weapons that could be retained. It would be great to have individuals interested in science like Frankie and Usopp leveled up by Dr. Vegapunk. Luffy and his companions have many enemies in the pirate world, but there are individuals who seem likely to cooperate with Luffy. Key names include Garp, Smoker, Tashigi, Kobe, Helmeppo, and others. Among them, Kobe has been a friend who adventured with Luffy in Volume 1. Furthermore, Smoker and Tashigi have more or less collaborated with him during the Alabasta and Punk Hazard arcs. Garp might not exactly be termed as a collaborator, but he once contemplated overlooking Luffy at Water 7. During the Summit War, he also deliberately took blows due to Luffy being his real grandson. Uniquely, there is also Drake. He was not only a pirate belonging to the worst generation, but also the captain of Sword, primarily serving as a Marine. These individuals are more like allies who come together when facing a common enemy, rather than always acting as Luffy's collaborators. I believe we might see some highly exceptional collaborations, much like Roger and Garp during the God Valley incident. Currently, the whereabouts of Kobe and Drake are unknown, and we can only hope they are safe. At the Reverie arc, there was a backstory where Don Quixote Mosgard, a celestial dragon, saved and was persuaded by Otohime, the mother of Shirahoshi. This seems to be turning into something very interesting. It seems like all celestial dragons would unequivocally be enemies, but there appears to be a split in opinions among them. Ultimately, I believe that some might decide to stand against the government and join Luffy's side. A defection among the celestial dragons, similar to how the Nefertari family separated from the 20 royal families, is quite plausible. Notable figures include Sabo, Luffy's sworn brother, Dragon, his real father, Ivankov, who has connections with Sanji, and Koala, who inherits Fisher Tiger's will. Robin also spent 2 years training with them, giving an overall impression of leaning towards Luffy. The Revolutionary Army has the mission of overthrowing the Celestial Dragons, a goal depicted thoroughly in the series. I foresee them playing significant roles as allies to Luffy in various battles happening in different places. But first, the safety of Sabo is a concern, and a reunion between Dragon and Luffy is something we're eagerly anticipating. A collaboration between the protagonist and his father seems to be a hot and classic development. Sanji's blood-related family. Despite saying he never wants to see them again, I think there might be a scenario where they collaborate in some way. A tribe whose power is deemed necessary to repair Noah might exist somewhere. They might have already appeared, or if introduced later, are likely to become allies of Luffy. Alongside the Lunaria tribe, they are considered to be possibly the most important tribe. They battled a large group to protect the Sunny for 2 years, and it's presumed they will continue to assist in the future. Possessing advanced weather technology, I suspect they will offer substantial support from above. The botanist who trained Usopp. He commands insects in battle, akin to Shirahoshi in the insect world. The country in the South Blue where Chopper was sent flying. Research on potent medicines and various weapons is advanced here. Much like Zeph in the East Blue, they provide substantial support in battles across different seas. A former bounty hunter closely associated with Zoro. Currently, he is a fisherman in Kokoyashi Village, but I hope he will protect the village if something happens. Today, we discussed potential collaborators for Luffy. How did you find it? Apart from pirates, all these individuals are willing to lend their strength to Luffy. Furthermore, this isn't exhaustive, as more people are expected to support him as the adventure progresses. This channel posts summaries, explanations, and ranking videos related to One Piece. If you like One Piece, we would be happy if you could support us by subscribing to our channel and commenting. Thank you for watching to the end, and see you in the next video.